Hello, how are you today?
Good.
All right, I just want to let you know that this is our final session and we will be closing out our therapy. And towards the end, I'm going to give you a few recommendations if you would like to continue therapy, okay? So you say you were doing good today?
Well, not really, but
Oh, what was going on? Tell me about your day.
I had a job interview and they said I had to be 18 years old.
18 years old, did you know that on a job application?
No, it wasn't put on there. He just told me when I got there.
Oh, see, they need to be more specific about things like that so it doesn't mess up people like you. But I just wanted to check up on you to see how you were doing with our previous sessions. Can you tell me about how you've been doing since I've last seen you?
Well, I'm doing fine, but my anger issues
So you've been working on your anger issues. How about your anxiety? Has that coincided a little bit, or is still an ongoing issue?
is still an issue.
Still an issue. Well, do you remember the coping mechanisms that we talked about?
Well, I normally like count like breathing.
You do the breathing mechanism. Did you do the other mechanisms?
No, I didn't like the other one.
Like the other ones. So do you prefer the breathing one?
Yes,
And just for future references for future clients, why did you prefer the breathing one rather than the other one?
because it gives me time to think about.
So how long do you breathe in for? Like, do you just stop what you're doing, or do you just do it for a few seconds or a minute?
I stop what I'm doing. I just keep breathing in and out until I feel like I'm ready.
Okay, so there's not really like a time frame.
No.
No. All right. And how do you feel after you do the breathing mechanism?
Sometimes I feel good. Sometimes I don't.
Sometimes it just don't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically depends on the situation sometimes too, right? And I remember we were talking about your brother in our last sessions, and how you felt towards the anger and anxiety towards him. Has that got any better, or is it still an occurring issue?
Well, sometimes, not all the time.
Okay. And is he still like, is he just being a brother, or he just being annoying, more annoying than normal?
Just being a brother.
Just being a brother at this point. And so, have you been talking to your mom about it, like letting her know? Well, you must have been because I remember you was talking about how you wanted a job, and you couldn't because you had to watch him. So it seems like you guys talked about it, and now you're able to get a job. So what is she going to do about him? Like, is she?
Well, he gonna have after school.
Oh, he's going after school, so that's good. That's good. So now you have things to do, the things that you like to do. Now you have the opportunity to do that. And when he does make you mad or you get anxiety towards him, do you do the coping mechanism of the breathing in and out?
Yeah, but I go in my room.
Okay, all right. And um, so I'm gonna give you some goals, and the goals that I'm gonna give you are for future references. Okay, and so during our session, I've noticed some positive changes, and I've also noticed some changes that need to be made. And some positive changes that I've seen that you have made over the long run is that you've been learning to let things go in a timely fashion. Like with the coping mechanism, you are, doing the activities I taught you, such as the breathing in and out, which is amazing. And I also learning that, or seeing that you have been stopped overthinking, and I think that is a huge problem with your anxiety that you overthought a lot of things, which gave you the anxiety that you felt. So that's also wonderful that the coping mechanism has been able to help that. And another thing that I think that you did positively was putting things into perspective. That understanding that your mother had or has other things going on in life that she couldn't help, you know, give the opportunity for your little brother to go places so you can do things. So I'm glad that you understood that and didn't have any harsh feelings towards her. But a change that I think that you should make or could take into consideration is learning to not let the little things affect you, because I've been noticing that like little things such as you leaving your pencil at home, or like not being able to find your favorite shirt that you talked to me about in your previous one. I've been learning that it has been making you affect your day. And when you do things like that, it has a spiral effect. So I think that some other techniques that I think you should have, besides the deep breathing, I've came up with some techniques such as taking a walk when you find yourself getting frustrated within your home, and it's the right time out, and in a non-disrespectful way. I think you should go outside and take a walk to catch a breather, so you can do both two techniques at one, which is the taking in the walk and doing the deep breathing. And I think another technique you should do is the counting, because a lot of research has shown that counting to 10, either forwards or backwards, can help alleviate a lot of stress people have. And since you're young, you probably should start doing more exercising or getting to sports or organizations, so you could be around people your age, or just like exercise is a good way, to alleviate stress. Or also you could do yoga. But do you think that you would like to do any of those new things?
So when I find,
Going outside, you like going outside. What about like organizations? Do you plan on joining any other organizations while you finish out your senior year?
no,
No?
no.
You probably think, well, will you take into consideration of doing some for your benefit?
Yeah.
Okay. And what you still thinking about the criminal justice field in college? Like you being a detective and
Yeah.
stuff? Yeah, you should probably look into organizations around Tallahassee to see if, they might spark any of your interests. But I am glad that we've had our 10 sessions. Unfortunately, it has to come to an end. So this is what we call our terminating session. And before we leave, I would like to give you some referrals. Basically, I think that you and your family should continue family therapy, and I also think that you do personal therapy, such like cognitive therapy. And my friend, her name is Christine Needham, and she's like me. She's a licensed clinical social worker, and she's based off of Miccosukee Road. So I think that you and your family should go to her every few times a month that you feel necessary. And for the personal therapy, I think that you should go to Ellen Sharpio, and she is located on Adam Street. I think that you and your family, or you personally, would benefit from this. But it was nice to meet you, Miss Kyler, and I hope that you take into my techniques into consideration, and you take the referrals I've given you in your family to consideration. And I hope that the anxiety lessens, and you and your family, especially your brother, can gain a better, um, basically a better family bond. Thank you.
No.